Jimmy Tyler, floor supervisor at big box store between freeway and half-dead mall, fluorescent lights humming overhead. Job is juggling schedules, calming Karens, fixing jammed receipt printers with paper clips, and pushing pallets when stalkers call out. Crew is mix of teenage cashiers, tired moms on night shifts, and older dudes who treat the store like second living room. HR used to be Mr. Harris, soft-spoken guy whose superpower was remembering everyone's kid names and vacation requests. Only emails he sent were about open enrollment, lost badges, or please do not block fire exits with holiday inflatables again. One afternoon, district manager gathers us in break room, announces Mr. Harris is retiring to buy RV and chase bass around lakes. Everyone claps because we like him, then immediately goes back to complaining about scanners and busted air conditioner. Week later, phone buzzes with corporate newsletter, subject line, welcoming Leela, our new director of people experience. Open attachment, see woman mid-30s with neon blazer, shaved side haircut, glasses big enough to get their own ID badge. Bio says she rebuilds workplaces through a feminist equity lens and centers women's voices in male-dominated environments. Assistant manager Nate reads over my shoulder, mutters, guest jokes died today, goes back to counting till drawers. Monday morning, Lila sweeps into store with district manager trailing behind like unpaid emotional support animal. She doesn't look at crooked shelves or broken freezer door, just studies how people talk near customer service desk. Walkie crackles. I get called to front. She wants to meet supervisors. I show up still smelling like bleach from cleanup. Lila asks what I do. I say, keep this circus from burning down. She does not laugh. Write something on her tablet. She asks how often male staff correct female staff on floor. Brain tries to remember last time anyone cared about that metric. I say, whoever knows the job best usually shows new person the ropes. She gives tight smile like wrong quiz answer. Week later, first policy blast hits inbox, subject phase 1, ending uninvited male oversight. Memo says men are no longer allowed to correct women's work directly. Only designated women mentors can give feedback. If male supervisor sees mistake, he must log it in app called Balance, then wait for female mentor to address it later. On paper, we have 3 women mentors. In reality, they already drowning in returns, price changes, and kids' fevers. First day new rule lives, I watch cashier Emily double scan same item 3 times for long line of customers. Normally I would lean over, quietly show how to clear error, everyone happy, but now Balance app wants screenshot and explanation. By time I finish typing, customer is asking why total looks like car payment, line stretches halfway to garden center. Complaint email hit same evening about training failure. Lila forwards it with note, this is why women need protected space to grow. Second phase appears before we can breathe, subject queen shifts and power redistribution. Lila says women spend too much time doing soft tasks like greeting and folding while men hoard strategic tasks like equipment and keys. Solution is weekend queen shifts where only women can work front of store, all men reassigned to back room and cart duty. Men are forbidden from touching registers or helping customers those days so women can experience uncontested ownership of space. Stalkers like Jose and Arnold end up pulling double-duty unloading trucks and hauling trash while front-end runs on 4 exhausted women. First queen shift, Saturday parking lot looks like concert, sales flyer went viral, and we are hilariously understaffed at registers. I stand in back hallway listening to lane lights blinking for help while I stack bleach cases, hands itching to jump in. Lila watches chaos from customer service podium, smiling proudly like proud director at Feminist theater performance. Customers start complaining about slow lines. One lady shouts that she just needs cigarettes for her husband waiting in truck. Lila tells her, today women come first. Lady says, my husband's the one paying, drops basket, marches out swearing never to return. District manager writes warning about missed sales. Lila replies with 4-paragraph essay on short-term turbulence during justice work. As if that isn't enough, she unveils Goddess Lounge in old training room upstairs. New sign on door says women only rest area. Inside are massage chairs from clearance catalog, fancy coffee machines, snack jars, and diffuser making room smell like orange funeral. Men's break room loses microwave and good coffee maker to share resources with historically underpampered genders. Now dudes eat cold leftovers at folding table near receiving dock while smelling dumpster. Morale drops faster than clearance prices. Third wave email titled Respect Strikes and Emotional Safety might as well have skull and crossbones in header. New phone app lets any woman file respect strike against male coworker for things like tone, unsolicited advice, or standing too close. 3 strikes in month means losing choice shifts and being banned from closing with women for 30 days pending reflection. Lila hosts training where she acts out scenarios including man saying, "Relax, I got this," being labeled micro-domination in action. First week app exists, some guys joke it will never be used. By Friday, leaderboard shows half male staff sitting on at least 1 strike. I catch first strike for supposedly hovering behind Emily when she struggles with coupon stack, even though policy forbids me from helping anyway. Second strike arrives after I interrupt long story in break room to ask if someone can cover register 3. Description says, cutting off women's voices. Lila calls me into office, says 1 more strike and I lose my supervisor title for month, pay unchanged but authority gone. Walk out of meeting feeling like dog sitting next to chewed couch cushion with no idea what happened. Women co-workers are mixed about all this, some like Goddess Lounge, others hate feeling guilty for pressing strike button. Mia from clothing department tells me she got cornered by Lila, pressured to be brave and file more reports, so corporate sees real patterns. Mia says store wasn't perfect before, but at least problems were about schedules and broken equipment, not vibes and politics. Next month, corporate announces contest for flagship empowered store. Winner gets bonus budget and visit from regional VP plus camera crew. Lila becomes possessed with idea our location must win to prove her theories, starts referring to store as pilot lab for liberation. She creates wall of charts in office showing number of queen shifts, strike filed, and hours spent in Goddess Lounge as success metrics. Actual numbers like shrink, overtime, and mystery shopper scores quietly shrink to tiny corner of whiteboard. Rumor spreads that regional VP will visit same weekend as big charity event we host every year for local shelter. Historically, Charity Day is circus, bake sale out front, balloons, kids everywhere, plus huge coupon and paper bringing half town inside. Nate suggests keeping schedule normal to survive. Lila overrules him, declares Charity Day will also be full matriarchy demo. Plan is simple in her head. Women run entire floor, men invisible and back doing support labor, camera crew films, women leading retail future. She schedules almost every woman for front, barely leaves anyone with physical strength in receiving besides Jose and toothpick teen named Kyle. Written note on schedule board says, men may not enter sales floor between 10 and 4 unless bringing supplies, then must leave immediately. Morning of event, I arrived to see huge banner reading Women Lead the Way Today, plus smaller sign on door saying men's staff behind the scenes. Line of customers already wrapping around building because coupons say first 100 get gift bags, half audience wearing football jerseys. Inside, front end already flustered, 2 cashiers called out sick with flu, leaving Emily, Mia, pregnant woman from cosmetics, and 1 part-timer. Music blaring, balloons popping, kids running, and we still have truck of television sitting on dock waiting to be staged for sale. Lila gathers men in back, gives speech about resisting urge to rescue and letting women feel full weight of leadership. Jose quietly asks what happens if they literally need help lifting something heavy. She says, trust women's bodies, do not swoop in like heroes. Cart crew spends morning running donation boxes and trash. No one allowed to jump on register even as walkie screams for backup. Around noon, chaos peaks, front end drowning, charity bake table running out of change, donation jars overflowing, customers yelling about wait. Emily tries moving one of promo televisions herself to show customer built in speakers, television box almost her size. I watch on camera as she wrestles it onto flat cart, loses balance when kid bumps wheel, box tips, and smacks her shoulder hard. Rush from back with Jose, instinct on autopilot, help her sit, ask if she can move arm, she winces, eyes shiny. Lila sprints over, furious, not at falling television, but at seeing men on floor, shouts, "You are undermining the experiment." Paramedics eventually arrive, thankfully just bad bruise and sprain, but crowd saw everything, including Lila arguing instead of helping. Safety officer later tells me at least 3 customers filmed incident on their phones. One already talked about posting online. While chaos still humming, regional VP Dana walks into lobby with corporate camera guy, expecting heartwarming footage of Charity Day. First thing she sees is long line of angry customers, sign about women leading, and paramedics wheeling Emily out past Balloon Arch. Dana's smile fades like battery dying. She asks quietly, "What exactly is happening in my store today?" Nate tries to explain. Lila cuts him off, launches into speech about historic demonstration of female operational excellence. VP raises eyebrow, gestures at 40-minute line at customer service, man banging on locked electronics case, and donation table missing volunteers. She asks why half staff seems trapped in back room. I open mouth, feel Lila stare, drilling hole in skull, decide survival means vague answer. Dana decides to tour building herself, waves camera guy away, walks receiving, sees men stacked like Tetris pieces, folding boxes, stuffing trash, sweating. She asks Jose whether he chose backroom shift. He shrugs, says, "Rules say we can't help out there anymore or we get written up." VP asks me to show incident logs for day so far. We step into office. She sits at desk normally used for attendance write-ups. Computer shows balance app full of entries like cashier error unresolved waiting for mentor and customer yelling no mail allowed to intervene. Safety report I tried to file week earlier about heavy lifting restrictions shows as closed addressed in coaching session, even though no coaching happened. Remember, I printed copy the day I submitted it, shoved into folder at bottom of drawer along with old price override forms. Hand Dana the printout, point to section where I specifically warned policy forbidding assistance may lead to injury moving large items. She compares with digital note labeled concern based on internalized chivalry, no action necessary. Initials clearly read LP for Lila Preston. Stomach flips, watching VP's face go from annoyed to something like quiet anger, the kind that doesn't shout, just rearranges careers. Dana asks how Respect Strike app works. I explain 3 strikes rule. Mention how many guys now avoid floor because one wrong word can nuke schedule. Mia knocks timidly, says some customers insisting on speaking with corporate because HR lady yelled at injured girl for ruining photo op. VP invites her in, closes office door, asks for honest version of last few months, promises no retaliation for truth. Mia spills, talks about pressure to file negative surveys, being pushed to describe normal coaching as terrifying, guilt about goddess lounge perks. She mentions Lila's exact phrase, "We need to show male hostility on paper or they will never send budget." Room goes very quiet. Dana thanks her, sends Mia back to floor, then pages Lila to office over store intercom with voice like ice. HR Queen swans and 10 minutes later, still trying to fix hair after running around for cameras, doesn't realize execution chamber vibe yet. VP calmly asks her to explain men ban from sales floor, respect strikes, and cancellation of direct coaching from supervisors. Lila uses all her buzzword ammo at once, says women felt under siege, Needed symbolic inversion of hierarchy to heal. Claims results inspiring. Dana Swivel's monitor shows clips from today's cameras, frozen frame of Emily falling, then screenshot of closed safety ticket with Lila's note. HR starts blaming culture of male carelessness for injury, but email timestamps show Emily specifically requested second person to move TV and was denied. VP pulls printed safety report copy from folder, lays it beside digital version, asks why original concern never reached corporate safety. Lila says maybe system glitch, Dana replies. The glitch appears to share your exact initials. Office so quiet we hear balloon pop somewhere on sales floor like distant gunshot. Regional VP might as well be executioner. She says phrases like gross negligence and hostile scheduling discrimination. Lila tries final card, accuses staff of resisting change because men can't stand losing power, mentions my name like villain brag. Before I can panic, Mia's voice comes from just outside doorway. She and Emily have been listening with door cracked because walls thin like receipt paper. Mia steps in without invitation, says, Tyler's been the only one still training us at all. He's not the problem. Injured Emily nods with arm in sling. Dana looks between them, then at me, then at Lila, and it is extremely clear who has zero allies in room. Within our district manager arrives, charity event quietly toned down, corporate camera guy told to film shelter donation truck instead of store interior. Store-wide announcement later says, due to unforeseen scheduling conflicts, Lila will be supporting other projects remotely, which is corporate for gone tomorrow. Next morning email from HQ confirms she is no longer with the company. Investigation ongoing into misreported safety data and discriminatory scheduling. Respect Strike app disappears from phones overnight, Goddess Lounge sign replaced with boring training room, coffee machine returned to stinky men's corner. First meeting after fallout, Dana gathers leads, says feedback should come from whoever knows job best, gender irrelevant. Safety reports will now bypass local HR. Queen shifts quietly erased from schedule system. Weekend staffing returns to who can actually survive rush. Lines shrink back to normal pre-pandemic misery. Emily eventually heals up. Company covers medical bills plus extra week pay. After union rep hears story and politely threatens everyone with clipboard. Mia jokes we should keep Goddess Lounge furniture but rename it Everyone Who Survived the Experiment Club. Jose draws marker crown on old sign, hangs it in back room above break table as warning mural. Couple months later, new HR hires older woman named Denise who only cares about handbooks and people not dying near ladders. She listens more than she talks, cancels any policy that cannot fit onto single page without 5 footnotes. Store slowly drifts back to boring. People complain about coupons instead of politics. Biggest drama is whether to switch soda vendor. One slow Tuesday, I stand at end of aisle, watching Mia teach new guy and new girl how to face shelves and talk to customers. Nobody asks which gender is allowed to correct whom. They just move cans into straight line and laugh about furious coupon lady from last week. For first time in months, loudest sound in building is just carts rattling and kids whining for candy, not speeches about power. Take 5-minute break and reclaim training room, sip mediocre coffee, stare at crooked crown drawing on wall. Realize best thing that happened to our people experience was watching the person in charge of it walk out the door.